Good afternoon, everybody. I've been trying to make this video short, but it keeps getting long. This is a continuation to yesterday, because a young lady walked into my store yesterday, and she's facing this exact same situation that I talked about, where she's risk averse, she's afraid, but she's leaving money on the table. And I'm gonna get straight to the point on this cut of this video. Straight to the point. The point is that you are leaving money on the table, and you're looking to invest in the wrong thing. You see, buying a house as the American dream is actually the American nightmare unless you know how to use that house. A house is a liability, point blank, period, unless it's making you money. Now, how does a house make you money other than you being a landlord and renting the house? This is how. See, the young lady who came in the store, she's purchased the house back when she was 19. She's 34. She has equity in that house. But even if you don't have equity in the house, you can usually get a line of credit above the actual equity in the house. Even if you're upside down or close to it or dead even, you still can. Here's the thing. She also, I'm going to go ahead and give you both her situations. She also has great credit. Now, if you have great credit, you can go out, and if you make a joint venture with somebody, you can get a line of credit. And then, especially if it's 680 and above, you can get a line of credit that can then be invested into what? A vehicle that brings income. Income is the investment that you need to be looking at. She was talking about the stock market. Okay, unless you are going to be a day trader who watches the market, who studies the company, who's, this is what you do 4 or 5 hours a day, then you're not going to make it as, oh, I put some money into Microsoft. Oh, I put some money into IBM and Ford and this company. I'm sorry. The amount that you're probably putting in is not going to be enough to pay you enough dividends to actually bring you enough income until maybe 40, 50 years from now. So what you need right now is an income-based vehicle. And I'm not trying to sell you on anything in particular, but I'm going to use my company as an example because this is the best type, all right, because it has higher reward factors for you. Now, I'm not saying go start up with somebody who's just started. You can. They got a great idea. You believe in them. They got a great, go start with them. But if you got a company like mine who's been in business for about 4 years, and over those 4 years, they've made their mistakes. They've been in the wrong locations. They've had their bumps and their bruises. They've ironed out their process, ironed out their procedures. They got everything ready for expansion, and they have a plan for that expansion. What's the next location? What's the location after that? And after that, and so on and so forth. How are you going to grow your supervisors and managers? How are you going to track your money? How are you going to make, all your checks and balances? If they have that situation set up, like me, and you come into the party now, see, you're not getting on the train late. The train ain't left the station yet because they're still at that. They're at that precipice. They're ready. They're ready. The only thing they're waiting for is somebody to put some gasoline or whatever a train uses to drive now. You put the fuel in. That's all they're waiting for, is some fuel. They got everything. The cars are hitched up, and they're just waiting for some fuel. You get into that type of investment because what you're looking at is that in the next year to 2 years after you invest, you should start receiving quarterly profit payments. All right, and let's say you're patient, all right, and you can wait a year to really start pulling those profits. You know what? Let me give you a bad example. Let's say you get involved with a company like mine, self-promotion, and we open up a store, right? However we do it, whether you're a part of my company or we do a joint venture, you open up a store. And then let's say that store, after 6 months, it starts producing some profit. And let's say that profit every quarter is $10,000. And then you say, well, we want to aggressively grow. So let's just take $1,000 for ourselves, and we're going to put the rest of it into reinvesting and open more stores. And then, you open up another store, and then another store, and another store, and another store, and another store. And let's say after 5 years, you've opened up 10 stores, right? And your 10 stores, and let's just use simple math, your 10 stores are making enough profit every quarter, of quarters, 3 months, every quarter, that you get $1,000 from each store. That's $10,000 every quarter. That's $40,000 every year. You've created an income vehicle, and you keep doing this. And over 20 years, let's say now, because the law of compounding interest, let's say now, and this is compounding stores, because you're having 10 stores to help open up the next few stores after 20 years, right? You might have 50 stores. And if 50 stores are paying you $1,000 every quarter, then that's $50,000 every quarter. Now, times 4 is what? $200,000. Now you can invest in the markets, in the stock markets. And you can put some money that they're going to sit there and hold and then pay you dividends. Now you can start doing that thing. Because you got every quarter, you got $200,000. I mean, every year you got $200,000 coming in. You're not doing any work, right? And then you want this company to keep growing. So 30 years later, 40 years later, then what are you bringing in then? So when you're 80, 90, 100, and you got, 100 stores, and each one of those stores is paying you $1,000 every quarter. What is that? $100,000, $400,000 a year. You understand what I'm saying? Income-based vehicles. That's where your money should be invested. If you want to close the wealth gap, then that's what you look for. That is the ticket. So now the only thing you need to do is look at your situation to see what can you pull in. Where do you have the availability of funds? Is it through property? Is it through your credit? And then find a business that's already in business for at least 3 years. Evaluate the company, evaluate the product, and evaluate the ownership, and then look at their plan. And is this a vehicle I can get into that I can advance my agenda of generating income over the next 30, 40 years, so that when you are old, you're 70, 80, and that's not really old because I'm gonna live 300. But now you got something that you can make that can keep bringing you money. Because trust me, rich people don't buy 401ks. All right, so just hate to break it to you, but they don't. They start out with it, life insurances, and then they invest in businesses, and then once the businesses start making them a bunch of money, then they start investing in stocks and bonds and that sort of thing. So, hey, you want to close the wealth gap, man? That's how you close the wealth gap. Either you do it that way, or you go start your own company and build that up. And you're going to have to go through the bumps and bruises more than likely, but that's up to you. Some people want to do that. Some people don't. I mean, I'm the type that I go through the bumps and bruises. I went through it. So, hey, find that company where the train is ready to leave the station and you can be the fuel. Oh, and be a good investor. Let them do the business and you just do the investing. Get out of their way, okay? So have a great day. Y'all enjoy yourselves. It's Friday. Go waste your money on other stuff instead of investing it, and that'll keep you behind in the wealth gap. And always, always, always remember, my greatness is non-negotiable, and so is yours.